The topic under Unit 3 is Memory Devices and System. Under the Memory Devices System, we are going to see about DRAM. DRAM is Dynamic Random Access Memory. So under the memory device DRAM, this is Dynamic Random Access Memory where the values should be refreshed periodically, because the values inside the memory cells decay over the time. This is the memory organization for DRAM. So let us assume for the moment that memory is accessed one bit at a time. So there is only one bit at a time where the memory can be accessing it. The address for that particular bit is split into two sections, that is rows as well as columns. So these rows as well as columns together they form an array. If we want to access more than one bit at a time, we can use fewer bits in the column part of the address to select several columns simultaneously. For example, if the first bit is stored in the first column on the row, the address will be 10. The next column will be 11. The next one will be 12. It goes like that. So if you want to select fewer bits, that means you are supposed to select that particular column. So the column address will be 1 and the row address will be the next one. Also, dividing the address into rows as well as column is essential because it reflects each pin in the memory chip. So next we can see why refreshing is important in DRAM. So refreshing the DRAM is very important because to retain the values of the bits which is seen in the DRAM. So DRAM has to be refreshed periodically to retain its values rather than refresh the entire memory at once. DRAM's fresh part of the memory at a time. It won't refresh the entire DRAM cells. It will refresh only one cell at a time. That means one column and row is refreshed at a time. So when a section of memory is being refreshed, it cannot be accessed until the refresh is complete. So when we are refreshing as together many rows and columns at the same time, it cannot be accessed until the refresh is complete. The memory itself occurs over fairly small seconds so that each section is refreshed every few microseconds. DRAM operates under two special modes. They are burst mode as well as the page mode. So burst mode, it transfers, performs several access in sequence using a single address and possibly a single CAS is used. So single column address is used. Under the page mode, in contrast, requires a separate address for each data access. So burst mode you are using to address all the columns at the same time. Under the page mode, only one address can be accessed at a time. The next is the types of DRAM. DRAM can be classified as asynchronous DRAM, that is SDRAM, extended data out DRAM, EDO DRAM, fast page mode DRAM, FPM DRAM, double data rate DRAM, that is DDR DRAM. So these are some of the content seen under DRAM.